What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the largest Canadian YCS ever, absolutely wrecking the market. The stars came out to play. It was a crazy show with Sky Striker in the finals, but Dominus Impulse is the card that has absolutely skyrocketed from the event. I can say I was wrong on this one. I was thinking not everything in this set can just be money, money, money. And actually, the boxes have come down just a little bit in value, a couple of dollars, but this went from being 35 to spiking on up towards $50+ and quickly 60 on the front page, with some people even spending near that. You can see here a place at almost 60 a piece, a lot of them selling at 50 right now. Now there are restrictions to this card, but a lot of decks can go along with that restriction, leading to its power being very relevant in the format. I thought it would be played, just not on the scale that it is getting played in, and it's considered a staple for those decks that can use its power. It turns out OCG Master Race based translates to this format as it usually does. I just figured it wouldn't be played in quantities enough to justify it, but here we are. Then Mulcharmy folos. I don't want to underplay this. This is record breaking for an opening week, is still sitting at $140 with those sales churning for this card en masse. Look at that. That is all through this weekend. If we keep on going, people looking at the YCS saying, all right, I'm gonna do it. Now, not every deck needed to play it, but it's in a large chunk of the top cut here early, and people are talking about how they can play without it or how they can play around it, but many are finding themselves getting this to lend power to their sideboard, if not their main deck. So when it comes down to record-breaking history, only Gold Crush card actually beats this week one, along with potentially Necros of Bryonic. When Bryonic was found to be short on release, terribly so, it went from 120 to 150 to 180 very fast. I actually don't remember the exact timetable, but I do think it was 150. For a core set, this wins. It beats out Dracosack being 120 early, and Dracosack does go higher later, and many other cards go higher, but for an opening week, this is history. Dark Arm Dragon, 120 into 150 by Shonen Jump Houston, but started out 120. So there is inflation to adjust for, all those kind of things, but we're still on better pull rates than those old boxes like Phantom Darkness, and this is a wild ask on a playset staple, but it is going, it is moving, people are buying into it, and the other Mulcharmy is spiking. We talked about people were going to be playing this in tandem and together, and here it goes, back up towards 60 and quickly past 65 here on the front page, with just a massive amount of sales with it as well, at even higher prices at points during the weekend. Deception of Sinful Spoils has gone actually down $5 since we covered it when it was bought out towards 60, so you can see it has upward traction overall, but it is settling just a little right now. But yeah, it's a very good card and a lot of decks are on it, and I called this one Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils, especially the OG, has been spiking on up in price. Now, there are listings here around $30 readily available, so the graph goes a little bit past where it's at right now, but I did say this would likely slurp the value of Diabellstar, as Diabellstar has its reprint on the horizon named in Bonanza. This could still be in Bonanza, but again, they've done one reprint for it, and they like to do these attachment things that help other sets even reach back and sell and connect to the newer sets, so we'll have to wait and see, but I did figure this would be the one people would end up going for even harder. Ryan Yu with Sky Strikers doing it big, second place. The altar art for Ray is definitely solidly up in price. You can see sales were back towards 150, 160, and now the lowest listing for a near mint is 175 to 185. The rest of the Sky Strikers pretty readily available, down in price versus their history. You can even see the graph saying like 116, yet there's ulti near mints right here at 85. The plushes also came out in the OCG for this set and are very popular. But when it comes to strikers in general, a lot of the stuff that's even like not reprinted, Sky Striker Mobilized Linkage, you can get relatively easily, or Ultimate Rare Ray, still under $10. So it's not like people are running out trying to recapture what a master of this deck has done, but I do think people will raise an eyebrow and kind of stare at this deck a little more this format for sure. Centurion with Pack went 10-0. He called it the best deck for the format, and we'll have to see how it does. He says it's great against folos, and a lot of these are reasonably priced. I wish they were cheaper for their reprints because the Megatons have such crazy bad pull rates, but with that in mind, a lot of these being under $10 is good in my opinion, and that's almost every single card for it you're able to grab at 10 and under, but there's quite a few cards at that price range, so it's not exactly a budget deck, but it is a solid deck, and the options you're going to play with it can get pretty expensive fast. He played Bestials with them, and I have noticed Druiswarm and Lubellion continuing to stonk. We've seen them up towards these prices before, but they continue to rally and do very well and find their way into formats as an engine. He also played Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. I was staring in at the quarter century secret rare, which is finally curving back up. It was all the way down towards 15, and now it's quickly towards 20. He played 2 of these, and looking through all of the versions, you can get it cheap if you want a nice version. That's what I love about Rarity Collection. You don't have to get the max. You can get nice versions for $1. This is what every card should be available as, in my opinion. It's a great example, but not with how they handle the Rarity 2 itself. Deck Lockdown is another thing he said was one of his better cards for the format, and we do see that the holographic has been slowly coming back up in price, but is still available at $2, so you might want to get yours sooner than later using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. Also, Retaliating Sea was in the room, and we do see that the super rare, which is a tournament pack super, it is well up in price above $5 for near mints, but you can get Ghosts from the Past, which has its quality control wonkiness, so maybe get them in person. It's been spiking up too, but it's more towards that $1-ish price, with others cheaper if you can find stuff from that seller to add in cart. Yeah, okay, Gym Knight's got new support, and some of it just reads completely busted with quick effect negate from graveyard, stuff like that. People are asking, well, if they're trying to stop you from burning them all in one turn, is it really that good? People are buying out Brilliant Fusion ultis here, and other versions are going down in quantity. The super rares are relatively untouched though, so if you want to get those sooner than later, you might want to do that just to have your copies. Although you would hope the set that comes with all of this would reprint something like this, right? Then the other Gym Knight stuff, Dual Terminal, Max Rarity, it's all going. There goes Lazuli to 30, Gym Knight Fusion towards 30, Master Diamond Buyout. Yeah, it's all of them. They're all just getting targeted and gone. Then Necros got bought out, with Bryonic going back towards $60. Speaking of flashbacks and history and short prints, and that's the unlimiteds. Let's find the first editions. Ooh, $100 lowest. Now they're not like selling for that or anything, I would think. Yeah, there goes one at 42 during the buyout, is the highest sale so far. Trisha Lagan as well. But this is because the pack cover has these cards, and there is the Necros kind of mirror. Now this could still be Gishki in theory. A lot of people are saying it's Necros because of this handle right here. It's lore, but the lores connect. So I would air some caution, but Gishkis did get recent support. It could be another wave, or this could be indefinitely the beginning of Necros. We gotta wait and see. It is Terminal World after all. Number C102, this is because I forget the name of the spell. It can search Lancia off of revealing this card. Let me know in the comment section down below. It's 7th something, I want to say, but basically you reveal this and you can search Lancia, and that's good against Malice is the theory on it. The Unlim has a 0% seller at around $7 before it's just completely gone. But yeah, oh yeah, 7th Tachyon, I pulled it up. I was a good market tuber today. Six Samurai is getting some hype. We can see the Gladiator Assault version of Cutting of the Six Samurai has ended up getting bought out, as has the Ultimate Rare, and that's because because Asian Persuasion 2008 went undefeated at locals. Now, locals, haha, locals, it's still getting attention over here. It's still a way to play, and he's talking about basically using folos as the maxi challenge and just playing through it to deck people out, and that's what a lot of people aren't going to expect. I'm a huge Six Samurai fan myself, and if you look around, this has caused a ton of buyouts. There goes Super Battle Shogun. Luckily, we did get a gold letter rare reprint, but these are the only two, so you might want to secure whichever version of this card you want sooner than later. Hatsume has also gone up for the secret rare, just crazy in price. We already talked about Kizaru going, and Super Kizons are going as well, and even the common is kind of pricey at this point. Then we have Tethys going up for Edison from the Ultimate Time Wizard at the YCS. Here Samuel was able to pilot it to top 8, where a lot of people had discounted and dunked on this deck. So there goes the secret rare out of Crimson Crisis, and it's nice to be able to validate a deck when you're just talking on it and theorying it and it ends up going somewhere. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these conversations. I try to keep it a little more timely when it comes to a lot of these meta moves and event moves that are happening, but you can look up a lot of things yourself as well, and I always encourage that versus just taking, oh yeah, YouTuber man says this, because sometimes YouTuber man is just wrong despite it being out there that it could go the other way.